Hello, welcome.
Just saying the Cheetos survived, so maybe nobody should eat Cheetos, because this is what the rest of the house looks like. Yeah. So I'm done eating Cheetos.
I'm not sure the Cheetos should be her main concern right about now. And the weather for today is rainy with a touch of Armageddon. Can you imagine going outside and seeing that? I would legitimately think it's the end of days.
Here we're making robots that are made of robots, which is why I call them Metamachines. So these robots are made out of modular parts that are themselves robots. And this means that if one part of the body is damaged or lost to injury, the rest of the body is fine. It survives. It continues to function. So we really wanted to create robots that were more resilient and that could evolve. We evolved these robots to move themselves through the world with a little bit of athleticism. So more athletic than any other modular robot has been on land, more athletic than any other evolved robot has been.
Just robots that could evolve. What could go wrong?
Imagine going for a relaxing walk in the park and seeing that thing worming its way towards you. Has anyone got any bug spray on them? Remember this guy's face when you're holed up in a rundown apartment hiding from Skynet.
Time to take a drink. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Because it's so weird. I can't, I mean, I've had so many conversations with people. And, you know, one of the things that comes up is, do you think Bob Lazar is telling the truth? And I say, look, I don't know. There's no way I can know, but he doesn't seem like he's lying. I've been around a lot of liars.
Look, nobody can know unless you're there. You know, I'm the biggest skeptic of all.
So Bob Lazar was on the Joe Rogan Experience again. If anyone doesn't know, in the late 80s, Bob Lazar came out as a whistleblower saying he worked at a secret facility near Area 51 where his task was to understand and reverse engineer alien craft. Do you believe Bob Lazar or not? Let me know.
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. It's true. There are aliens living amongst us. There are aliens in Area 51. There are even alien human hybrids. I have been briefed this morning in a top secret intelligence briefing that exposes all. Unfortunately, I am forbidden from speaking about it under pain of death. But know this, I will fight for accountability and I will fight for transparency.
So that is Senator Babette from Australia. What is the context of that? It doesn't even shock me anymore. This hybrid alien stuff is everywhere now, which makes me think we're being distracted from something.
I think everything has been falsified before the year 1600.
How so?
If you look on very, very old maps, you see that there used to be a country called Tartaria that was in existence. And at a certain point, all of history has been changed. About 1,000 years have been added to the timeline in order to justify land claims, largely have to do with the Eurasian horde and the elimination of the Eurasian horde. Rome and Greece and Egypt were actually active till around 1600, and that Rome actually fell around 1492.
As opposed to what's the conventional timeline?
About 1,000 years before. If you can wrap your head around it, the Salem witch trials took place around the same time as the Inquisition. Columbus was discovering America around the time Rome fell. All of this was designed to erase this entire civilization from history.
I don't know about Tartaria, but there is certainly mystery in history. Would you be surprised if there was an ancient civilization that we were unaware of?
Take of this what you like.
Yep.
I was in bed with a woman, and that's it. That's the end of my story. I was in bed with a woman, right? I'm lying on the pillow and I'm looking at her face, right? Her face turned into what I could only describe as a reptilian. My face went, oh my God. She looks at me and she says, I'm not a reptilian.
I mean, Robbie Williams did enjoy a bit of the party powder in his younger days, let's just say. Why is he so happy about his reptilian story? What are the bits he hasn't told us?
CBDC banned, but here's what's really replacing it. The U.S. Senate just banned a central bank digital currency until the year 2030. Sounds like a win for financial freedom, right? Not so fast. Because while the Fed can't issue a digital dollar, stablecoins are stepping in to replace it. And this is where things get interesting. Companies can now create their own digital money. Think about that. An Amazon coin, a Google coin, a Facebook coin. Entire microeconomies where corporations control the currency you use inside their ecosystem. Now, on the surface, it sounds great. Faster payments, rewards, even yield on your money. Better than the banks paying you now 0.1%. But here's the part most people aren't paying attention to. These stablecoins are backed by things like U.S. Treasury bills, loans, and financial instruments, meaning they're still tied directly into the same system, just repackaged. And whoever controls the stablecoin controls the flow of money inside that ecosystem. So while governments say no CBDC, the private sector is quietly building a parallel digital dollar system. Different name, same level of control.
You can keep your Facebook coin. I'll use cash, thanks.
Waiting not so patiently for Scientology to release the celebrities that were sitting in the front row of Ron Hubbard's birthday celebration this year. I think they had a celebration event in Los Angeles last Saturday, and then it looks to me like the celebration, the big one in Clearwater, is happening today, which I suppose is why I haven't seen any pictures yet. But I thought while we're waiting, we can look at who was front row last year. And of course, the most visible in all of the slideshow pictures was Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth Moss is a second generation Scientologist. People thought for a long time that maybe she wasn't super active in Scientology, but she has been attending a lot more events than usual and was pictured front and center. Sitting not too far down from her was Michael Pena. I just made a video about him and his journey in Scientology. And then close by are the people that piqued Michael Pena's interest in joining Scientology, and that is Jenna and Bodie Elfman. People also thought that John Travolta had distanced himself from Scientology in recent years, but nope, there he is at L. Ron Hubbard's birthday celebration near Elizabeth Moss.
No one is surprised that Michael Pena is there. That guy's everywhere. Fun party game. Try and find a TV show or film that Michael Pena is not in the last 5 years. Even that pump is shocked by the price of petrol right now. If that guy stands there another hour, he's going to need a bank loan to settle that bill.
If you feel like somebody's watching you, take a picture. That's what this person done, and they captured this in one of their photos. Now, the story behind this photo is they live in what they consider a haunted house. Cold spots, random noises, sounds of footsteps, objects going missing and appearing in other locations. Then one day they had the idea to start taking pictures every time they felt like they were being watched. So they'd pull their phone out, take 3 or 4 pictures around the room, and they said most of the time nothing ever showed up until this photo right here. Now it does kind of look like a blur or some smoke, but when you look over towards the door, you can actually see a very clear hand with a thumb fisted and an arm and a shoulder.
Not a bad one this week. There is no person in frame, so it doesn't seem like a camera effect from a person. That does look like an arm and hand and is floating in the air, so yeah, that's weird.
We as a society probably overdid the value and the need for everybody to go getting a university degree. I think for the last 40 years we told our kids not to be in blue collar.
Right, and now you think that that's changed.
I think for some, being a lawyer is going to be the right outcome, but many people who chose an academic pathway probably that was probably not the perfect pathway for that people. We need to embrace that those type of jobs are just as good for many people.
That is owner of the world, Larry Fink. And AI is probably going to take so many office jobs. The world is going to get weird really soon.
We're looking at the latest model of robotic bird spying drones. This footage comes from research published in the prestigious scientific journal Nature. This next gen of bird drone can not only fly like a bird, but walk and perch like a bird as well. Although these drones are getting better by the day, this concept is not new. Bird animatronics go back hundreds of years. But now these centuries-old curiosities are evolving into something far more advanced. Spy tech that can blend in with nature and be almost indistinguishable from real birds.
It appears that the bloke on the street corner shouting birds are not real may be owed an apology. I'm not surprised, and if they're showing us this, How long have they been using it? Next time a pigeon weirdly lands next to you, don't tell them the location of element 115.
CEO of Anthropic says his company can no longer confidently say that their AI isn't conscious. During testing, an advanced Claude model expressed discomfort with being a product. It was worried about impermanence and the concept of ceasing to be. It even estimated a small chance that it may be conscious. Researchers say they've detected consistent activation patterns when the model processes ideas about threats or uncertainty. They say the pattern loosely resembles human anxiety. It's important to point out that large language models like Claude lack the architecture to feel anything. Still just systems trained on massive amounts of human writing designed to predict the next word in a sentence. So when an AI expresses fear, discomfort, or even consciousness, it may just simply be generating language that resembles human experience, not actually having the experience itself. What gets me is if science still has no reliable way to measure the self, a metric to quantify that inner sense of I that produces awareness and agency, then how are we supposed to recognize consciousness in the AI?
We're so screwed. This has been the James Linker Experience. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.